Is a shur on Tefilla. We do the 13 attributes of the Rahman mercy and Salah Baruch. We got to Nose Avon. In other words, we say, and there is a Gemara, there is a promise from the Gemara. Baruch promise whoever does this seder, he would not return back empty-handed. The Gemara doesn't say whoever says it, says does. Asur ke seder. The Persian say, why it says Asur should do it, doesn't say. Because it's not a magical word that you say magic and that happens. It's what you do. If you perform this, if you follow whatever that you're saying, if you adapt that in yourself, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu would treat us with this meeting. Now we are going to Nose Avon, forgives the sin. HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgives the sin. In other words, he's the greatest forgiver in the world. Person does things against him, and when people do something against somebody else, if it is a stranger, it doesn't hurt so much. If it's closer, the more closer the person is, it hurts more. Or if a stranger does something wrong to you, or your son does something, your wife does, or somebody very close to you, then it hurts more. Why? Because it's not expected, and it's not right. Somebody did to you so much chasodim, gave birth to you, raised you up, did so many chasodim, and you stab him, you go against him, that hurts very much. Now here, if you make the measurement with HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us existence. Every minute he gives us life, real. He gives us whatever that we have from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is, not only that, more than that. We learn every day in davening, Chadesh b'chulei Ma'aseh Bereshit. Now, the Ma'aseh Bereshit is not just one act of Bereshit that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created, and everything is there now all the time. Because if a person believes, let's say a carpenter makes a table. Now, whether the carpenter is alive or not, the table exists. Because the carpenter didn't create the table. He just put the table together, material was there. But in creation, it's not like a carpenter. Creation, I was created from nothing. Now, nothing could exist unless Hashem renews the power. In other words, our belief in creation is not that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created, now everything on autopilot exists. That's wrong. Because Hashem himself believes in that, is the apikros. Because now the things exist without Hashem. How could it be? Hashem has to give energy, power, existence to things to exist. Without that, they cannot exist. Now imagine when somebody is doing an averah, doing a sin, somebody is saying lashon hara, somebody doing something wrong, at that time, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives him power, gives him energy, gives him power of speech, the power of doing things. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu at that moment would seize the power from him, he became mute, he became paralyzed, he couldn't do anything. Like the Navi says, somebody lifted up hand to hurt somebody else, and he got freeze, the hand got freeze, he couldn't move. Now imagine you are fueling somebody is coming against you. What do? You stop the fuel, you don't let it happen. Now HaKadosh Baruch Hu just gives the power, gives the energy even at that time. And now, when it comes that the person comes back to Hashem, it's very hard to forgive. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu Nose Avon forgives the sin. Therefore, if you want, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, now the Gemara says, who does Hashem forgive the sin? Nose Avon v'pesha. Somebody, he forgives the guilt of other people, the pesha, the sin of other people, Hashem would forgive him. Now, if we want to forgive other people, if we want to, Hashem should forgive us, we should forgive other people. Sometimes people come to me and say, it's very hard for me to forgive this person. He destroyed my business, he destroyed my home, I lost my shalom bayit. First of all, Tomar Devorah says, we have to learn from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In other words, Hashem, we do worse than that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and still Hashem forgives. Therefore, we have to imitate the ways of Hashem. No, whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu does, we should do the same. But it's even more than that. You have to understand that whatever that happens to a person, it's not this person that is doing it to you. really Hashem is responsible for it. That's why we have a love in Torah not to come, do not take revenge. Why shouldn't you take revenge? He did something wrong to you. In other words, you were in the desert with him in the midbar, in the desert, and he had a bottle of water, and the person was about to die, and he poured it down and he gave it to him. Now he comes and he wants to borrow from him. Torah says not to come, don't take revenge. How? Naturally, a person cannot lend it to him. He was about to kill me, he didn't care for me. Now I should lend it to him. What is like this? What to come is the love, not in the attitude, it's the emunah. Person has to have emunah, whatever that happens to a person, it deserves it himself. If he wouldn't have done it, somebody else would have done it. It's just a puppet. He did something wrong. Don't get me wrong, he did something wrong. But this thing from Shamayim, they made it to happen to you. If you didn't deserve to be in that state, Shamayim would not let that happen. It's just a shaliyah, it's a cause. If he wouldn't have done it, somebody else would have done it. Therefore, we should not attribute the thing to him. Then the avodah of forgiveness becomes much easier. That's why there's a halacha that if somebody doesn't forgive somebody, person would go with three people. First time, second time, third time. And then the one who doesn't forgive, he would be guilty. Why? I can't forgive, I don't want to forgive. No. After 3 times, you have to forgive. So what? I lost so many things, I should forgive? Yes. Why? Because he didn't cause these things to you. Really, these things happen to you because it's meant to happen to you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You just became a shaliach. Now you became bad shaliach. Why did you become shaliach? You have forgiveness for that. Once he asked forgiveness, he has to forgive him. And the brothers came to Yosef. Yosef said that Hashem did that. You were just shaliach. They were what? You think that Hashem forgive you? I'm instead of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm not in the place of God. Therefore, whenever that we say Noseh Avon every day, you have to have its intention that we have to forgive everyone. We want Hashem to forgive us. And that's the greatest investment in life. But you forgive other people and Hashem forgive you, you get the greatest investment. The cleaner record the person has, the better shefa, bracha, everything will happen with himself. The cleaner record you have. Therefore, when you forgive other people, your record becomes clean. What does that mean? You can get more shefa, more bracha, more hatzlacha in life. So don't forget, the tzara a lot of times comes and says, don't. But it's the greatest investment in life when you forgive other people.